In a world filled with deception and challenges, how can we stand firm in our faith without being taken advantage of? In this week's verse, we're discussing Matthew chapter 10, verse 16, which tells us to be wise as serpents and innocent as doves. But how do we apply that to our daily lives? Let's break it down and find out how to navigate life with wisdom and grace. So I chose this particular verse because every day we're confronted with information that requires us to exercise discernment as to whether or not we're going to accept that information as the truth or reject it as a lie. Now, I know that adulting can be hard, but if you don't make the right decision, you're going to be stuck suffering the consequences, which can hinder your ability to make progress in life. So Jesus sent his disciples into a hostile world. But the part that gets me is when Jesus warns them about the persecution that they would encounter in Matthew chapter 10, verse 16. And it reads, "Behold, I send you out as sheep in the midst of wolves. Therefore, be wise as serpents and harmless as doves." So if you don't understand what this verse means, no worries, I got you. So let's go ahead and break this verse down. So we have sheep among wolves. So as Christians, we're all going to face all types of challenges in our personal, professional, and business lives. And so Jesus knew that he was sending his disciples into a world that would be hostile towards them due to their faith. However, if the disciples stayed strong in their desire to obey Christ, they would be in a position to endure whatever persecution they faced. Then we have be wise as serpents. So the type of wisdom that Jesus wants us to display is regarding discernment and strategic thinking. If you live in the US, you're literally seeing the consequences of what it looks like when you fail to implement discernment and strategic thinking into your decision-making process. You can't cut your nose to spite your face and expect there not to be consequences for your actions. Being wise as a serpent also entails unnecessarily avoiding unnecessary conflicts. So, for example, Joseph never wanted to be alone with Pharaoh's wife. Daniel refused to eat from the king's table, and the list goes on. And so the whole moral of the story is don't allow yourself to be in a situation where the chances of you committing sin are possible, especially if you're too scared or you're not willing to fight back. Then we have harmless as doves. So doves are actually a symbol of innocence, and we can balance our wisdom with our innocence by living with integrity and a pure heart, trusting God while making smart decisions, and incorporating love and honesty when we navigate through tough situations. Some of the ways we can incorporate this verse into our life is in our spiritual growth. We can pray for wisdom and discernment. In our relationships, we can exercise discernment without being manipulative. And in business, we can stand firm in our faith while we're being professional by making strategic decisions with honesty and faith. I cannot stress enough how important it is to really heed the warning Jesus is giving us in this verse. There have been so many times in my life where I can distinctly remember being presented with two options. And whenever I chose to let God lead me, which was typically the option that many would view as the road less traveled, it ended up bringing me the most happiness. So, for example, I refuse to suck up to anyone. I don't care. I don't care about titles or anything like that. So I refuse to suck up to anyone. So there have been situations in my career where those in management have withheld promotions, raises, and bonus money, despite the fact that I exceeded my revenue goals. And I know this may seem crazy to some people, but you cannot put a price tag on integrity. And the moment you do is the beginning of your demise. Okay? So my question to you is, how will you increase in wisdom? And if you don't know how to answer that question, I want you to take some time and do some serious soul searching, because the way that you answer that question is going to determine how much progress and impact your life is going to have on others. So I truly hope that you enjoyed this video and the message resonated with you. If so, be sure to like and share it with a friend. And if you want to continue to receive more faith-based content, be sure to subscribe to my channel. And remember, if you're everything to everyone, you risk being no one. You never know who you will inspire. See you in the next video.